where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. And today we are reviewing the Deluxe Bumblebee figure from Transformers Earthspark. And this is another pretty solid figure, actually. So far, in my opinion, the best two figures in the entire Earthspark line is Deluxe Bumblebee and Deluxe Twitch. The Megatron mold, which we'll get to at some point, so stay tuned for that review, is cool. The design looks good, the transformation is good, and the mold isn't bad. My issue with it is he's really tiny. But more on that when we get to the Megatron review. Bumblebee, on the other hand, I think Hasbro did a really great job, nailed his look from the show. I also happen to really like his look from the show. And Danny Pudi's portrayal of Bumblebee, fantastic. Danny Pudi is just so awesome as Bumblebee. A perfect casting choice for Bumblebee, in my opinion. They really could not have done a better casting choice for Bumblebee, I don't think. Don't get me wrong. I like some of the other Bumblebees over the years, especially Will Friedle, but I think Danny Pudi is probably the best one. I gotta say, I think he's the best one. And that's just my opinion. You might like Dan Giljovan as your favorite Bumblebee. He was the original, of course. You might like Will Friedle more. That's fine. That's your favorite one. I'm just saying my favorite, I think, is Danny Pudi. I think he absolutely nailed Bumblebee. And I can't wait to see what he does in Season 2. Anyway, here he is in the packaging. You got some robot mode artwork there. You've got some Earthspark artwork on the side. Mandroid Build-A-Figure on that side. And on the back, shots of Bumblebee in robot mode and vehicle mode, as well as the other figures coming out in this wave of deluxe figures to build our Mandroid Build-A-Figure. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And real quick before we do our close-up, we'll do our comparison because the Optimus I chose for this comparison is a little bit larger than the Warrior class Optimus that has been released in the line so far, and definitely larger than the upcoming Deluxe Optimus. Here is Bumblebee next to the Spin Changer Optimus. Now, the Spin Changers, there's only two so far, Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, which come with the two Malto kids, which I had to get just so I could get the Malto kids. But the Spin Changer Optimus, while it doesn't have a ton of articulation, and this will count as our review of this figure as well because I'm not doing a video just for the Spin Changers. This is all you're getting for the Spin Changers. Because like I said in the Twitch review, I'm mostly going to be focusing on the Deluxes in this line and any other characters that just stand out really well in terms of detail and quality for the show overall. But Earthspark, while is a kids targeted show, and the toy line is definitely kids targeted as well, with very few kid collector oriented figures like so. But in that vein, so far from what I've seen announced or released, this is definitely going to be the best Optimus so far. Despite the lack of articulation, scaling, it's much more closer to the rest of the figures in the line. So this is the Optimus I went with. Pretty simple. We'll go into his transformation later, but he has very limited articulation. He looks like Optimus. He stands like Optimus. Overall, it's not a bad figure. And of course, you get one of the Malto kids, which I didn't bring with me, but it is what it is. So anyway, there they are side by side. Again, I think the scaling is really good. Definitely better than the Warrior class and upcoming Deluxe class of Optimus relative to Bumblebee here, because if Megatron's anything to go off of, Optimus and Deluxe class is gonna be tiny, unfortunately. So I went with scale over articulation in this case, but not in the case of Bumblebee. The Spin Changer Bumblebee is not great as a collector. For a toy, it's a lot of fun, but as a collector, it's not great. For accessories, Bumblebee comes with his little Stinger Blaster here, which you can attach to either arm, much like in the show where he transforms his hand into his Stinger Blaster. And of course he comes with our next Mandroid Build-A-Figure piece, which is Hardtop's right arm, which was stolen early into the series, which was pretty cool. So Mandroid is slowly cannibalizing Cybertronians, stealing their parts and making himself a human Cybertronian cyborg. Kind of like Silas did in Transformers Prime, but honestly a little bit more gruesome than that. At least I think it is. Anyway, that's it for that. So here is Bumblebee. Bumblebee looks really great. Again, very show accurate. Very articulated. Head is on a ball joint. His shoulder sections go up like so and are on a ball joint, so you get good motion on those. Forward and back on this bicep joint. Elbow joints are on a ball joint. Wrists go in and out of the forearm, front and back, but that's mostly due to transformation. And then, of course, his B-wings / car doors do articulate as well, right there. No waist articulation. Hips are on a ball joint. Lower thigh joint just above the knee. Single joint to knee joints. And ankles are also on a ball joint. So, again, really good articulation. Transformation is pretty simple. We'll start by removing the blaster like I just did. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to fold in those wrists. Come down to the feet here. We're going to rotate those all the way around. And then there's a little tab right there and a little tab hole right there. We're going to push that section together. So do the same thing over here and do it like so. Next, we're going to rotate those knees around. And then we're going to leave the legs alone for a minute while we work on some more of the rest of the vehicle mode. We're going to come over here to this backpack. We're going to pull up. We're going to not detach this all the way, but it does help make that hinge clear. Flip that section out and then flip that other section all the way out. Next, we're going to come up here to the front of the car, raise up those shoulder sections. Rotate his arms to the side like so, and then bring them up into the front of the car like so. And then we are going to kind of bring up this section, bring up that back section there, and get, there we go. And then get that tabbed around so you got the front of the car all put together. Now we can come back to the legs. We're going to, on this side knee joint, we're going to rotate that to the side, rotate that to the side, line up those panels, and get the sides of those legs there we go, tabbed into the side of the car. Come over here to these knee joints, fold those sections down, close those car doors, and get them tabbed into place. And there you go. There is Bumblebee in his muscle car mode from the show. And then you can take his little stinger weapon here and plug it right onto the back. And I dig it. Again, his car mode is very show accurate. This is a solid deluxe class figure. Decent articulation, decent detail. I'm into it. I dig it. And real quick, we'll just transform Optimus. He's super simple in case you're thinking about picking up the spin changer. His transformation is still kind of fun. And he still has some articulation. Nothing at the head, but it can go up and down because of the way it transforms. Shoulders go in and out, basically butterfly joints, mostly due to transformation. You have upper bicep, single jointed elbows, waist, and hips, and that's pretty much it for his robot mode articulation. To transform him, what we do is you push the head down, bring those arms in, bring those elbows up. Transformation is actually pretty similar to the original Generation 1 toy, actually. Come over here to his back, untab this little section right here, and bring that down, covering that section. Bring that upper section down, and then we're going to fold that back panel there like so. Bring the front of the truck down on his back. Fold in those arms from the sides, and then these two pegs right here are going to peg into his thighs. So just bring his legs up, tab them into place, and there's Optimus in truck mode, and for comparison, there is Bumblebee in his muscle car mode. So again, if you care about scale with this line, or if you try to care about scale with this line, although he lacks articulation in robot mode, the Spin Changer Optimus, I think, is the better one to go with relative to the other figures in the line so far. So, there you go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's review featuring the Bumblebee figure from Transformers Earthspark, with some notes of Optimus in there as well, because, again, I didn't want to dedicate a full video to Spin Changer Optimus, but I wanted to show off the scale next to this Bumblebee because I feel like this Optimus fits well with the line overall. And like I said, I'm not going to dedicate a whole video to that because it's cool, but it's not the greatest. Hopefully we get a decent scaled, decent articulated Optimus for us fans who really enjoy the show but also want a good, not necessarily collector grade figure, but a better figure than this, and a better scaled figure than the Deluxe and Warrior class Optimus. And the same goes for Megatron. Again, I'll cover that in the Megatron review, so stay tuned for that. But the thing that bummed me out the most about Megatron is he's so tiny, and he's huge in the show, and the figure is so tiny. Come on, Hasbro. Help us out here. Why do y'all keep making Megatron figures so small in so many different lines? Specifically this one, and then Red Line. Why is Megatron one of the smallest figures in the Red Line when he's one of the biggest characters in the line? And I don't really need to get into this rant right now. The point is, stop making Megatron so dang small and stuff, okay, Hasbro? It's annoying. Anyway, stay tuned for more reviews. Stay tuned for some of our other content, because we have a wide variety of content here on Bay 12. Like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.